Hello and welcome back to Final Fantasy XII Zodiac Age. We're doing clan hunts, or elite marks, or whatever you want to call it. This one is the Trickster from Gertie here. We're already in location, as you can see. It's almost like I prepared ahead of time before I hit the record button. Anyway. Now, Gertie is literally everywhere. This specific Gertie is the one that requires the hunt, though. You can't just talk to any old Gertie, it has to be this Gertie. Some bandits were fixing to steal my chocobos. The Trickster should still be out there in Paramina Rift. Now, Gertie herself here doesn't actually give us much information. Better hurry, though. I told Manid from Clan Century about it a little while ago. Indeed, he might. She mentions the frozen thingamading, which, there it is, Frozen Brook. Before we go down there, though, I'm going to go ahead and purchase I may as well purchase both maps from our friendly Cartographers Guild Moogle here, because I didn't purchase them when I originally went through this area, because it's a fair chunk of Gil, and, you know, I didn't have a lot of Gil then, but anyway. Oops. I was trying to zoom out, I forgot the button. Anyway, here's the full map of this area. The only thing we missed is that little upper part of Silverflow's End, and this glacier right there. Anyway, let's go ahead and make our way down to the south. It won't be difficult at all. In fact, there's really no reason to be using Thundara like that, but that's okay. Nothing like kill? Wait. Yeah. Something. I don't know. I was going to make some sort of reference to overkill, but then my brain ceased functioning, which is about par for the course with me, to be honest. So you're here after all. So this guy hasn't seen anything. He's our friendly friendo. He doesn't have a weapon, he just punches things, which is about par for the course with everyone that helps us. But he has not seen the creature. Of course, you know, if he had seen the creature, he probably would have fought it and killed it, and we would have missed our opportunity. There's an ice elemental here that we are going to murder. Mostly because it's gonna silence Penelo at some point if we don't murder it anyway, so. It's also immune to dark and earth damage, so no one else in the party can do anything. Anyway, let's go ahead and remove our silences. Now that we've dealt with the enemy that causes the silence, we don't need to worry about it anymore. It's also a frog over there. That we've stolen a piece of fire magitite from. Magicite. Not magitite, that's a bit weird. Our little assistant dude is actually pretty good. He doesn't do as much damage as us, but he's also, you know, he has no weapon, so take that with a grain of salt. He has very high strength. Alright, so all of the enemies have been dealt with. Now, if you want me to be honest, I actually have no idea how to spawn this particular hunt. I have a feeling it might involve a chocobo. Is to be found on the rarest of occasions by the Frozen Brook in the Paramina Rift, which is here, yes. Does it have any special spawning requirements, or do we have to RNG it into existence? Do we just have to wait? The game does not tell us. So it's kind of hard to know. We're going to put it on quad speed. We're going to kind of hang out a little bit here. Maybe wander around a little, perhaps. Fight some skeletons, I suppose. Why not? Spawn couldn't steal from White Wolf F. See if it spawns when we run around for a little while. Every other enemy in the zone has spawned. Like, do we need to enter and exit the zone a bunch until it spawns? That seems a bit, that was the RNG, pray to RNG god sort of thing, which I'm hoping we don't have to do. So far I got nothing. So all the enemies appear to be dead. Let's leave the zone real quick. And then re-enter it, see if that triggers anything. I could, of course, look these hunts up, but, you know, basically wing it like everyone else would at this point. Although if in a situation like this, where I cannot seem to get it to spawn after trying some simple things for a little while, I will probably pause the recording until I do figure out a way to get it to spawn, and then I will show that to you. Got an antidote. Hooray, antidotes. So far, the kill all the enemies and sort of wait around strategy doesn't seem to be working. What if I come in from this direction? Does it matter the direction we come into the zone from? Sometimes that is a thing. There are some enemies that care about the direction you come from. This does not appear to be one of them. Okay, let's try. Anything in here? Any enemies? Any hunt? Any large chocobos? Vanilla is blind. That's okay. There does not appear to be any white feathered chocobos around here. So I'm going to pause the recording and try and figure it out. I feel like maybe we need to take a chocobo down here, and it will protect the chocobo. I'm not sure though, we'll try. Alrighty, I have managed to get it to spawn, and apparently it is simply RNG chance. So, not a very good RNG chance either, apparently, because that took quite a bit of time. But anyway, we got a message here from Monid. The Trickster's finally out. So let's go say hello to it whenever Penello's done casting haste on everyone and their mother. Oh, it's here. Hello! Oh god, you're very bright. I forgot about that. It's basically a holy chocobo. It has haste at the start, as you can see, as it runs around. I'm trying to target it so I can show it, but there it is. It has haste at the start. It will also go invisible if it gets too far away from you. It will simply go invisible, but for the most part, it sort of just does this. Runs around like a maniac until hopefully we can kill it. It's sort of like the hare in terms of irritation level. We're just gonna chase it around, I guess. Bosch's target is too far away. And I did mention it does go invisible. That is an actual status in the game. There are very few enemies that actually use it, but it is a status in the game. Anyway, this is what this thing does. The only thing you have to fear from it is Wild Charge. Does a decent chunk of damage, but it spends most of the time just running around. It's immune to harmful status effects. It's also very hard to hit, as you can see. So it has decided to fight us. It is very glowy. It's basically radiating like the sun. Trickster is immune to physical damage. This is rather unfortunate. How much damage does Thunder do? Oh, it also casts Choco Comet. I forgot about that. I wasn't paying attention to how much damage Thunder did, if it did any. It healed the bird. What about fire? Does fire heal the bird? Fire also heals the bird. Penello has fallen. It would seem that any element heals the bird. Bosch will die eventually, by the way. As will our friend. There he goes. He's no longer among the living. We may just need to tank it if every element heals this thing. I can't actually check if every element heals this thing. It just says varies, so who bloody knows? Bosch, before you die, let's try Blizzard and see what that does. That was rather painful. So I wasn't paying attention to see what that did actually. Should probably pay attention to the damage it takes. That also heals it. Um, could try Arrow and Aqua. Or Drain or Dark. Any of those we could try. Let's, when possible, anyway. Let's go ahead and swap out. She's still healing. Swap out some party members here and see what we can do. Oh, what are you doing? Casting Haste. Oh, it's casting Comet, so everyone gets targeted. Now, its immunity to physical attack will eventually wear off. So, because of the situation, that's pretty much all we have to do here is just sort of wait. Trickster is no longer immune to harmful status ailments. Could try and cause sap to it. Not Scathe. Well, Scathe probably, because Scathe is non-elemental. I don't really want to use the meteorite bio. Bio mode is huge, actually. I don't want to use that either. Aquara mode. Let's throw an Aquara mode at it and see if it even does anything. Never mind, he's dead. Well, actually, no. Let's not revive Bosch. Let's bring Fran in. Fran, shoot some water at it. See what it does. Ah, it takes. Trickster's elemental weakness has changed. Well, why don't you just fuck off and die? All right. What about Thunder? Since it changed. It's not a good way to fight it, quite clearly. So Vaughn is dead. Let's get our actual tank in here. Its elemental weakness has changed again. We can't... Oh, it's no longer immune to physical damage. I was going to say we can't fight it with elements. It's just going to constantly change. You might notice it's capable of inflicting doom, by the way. Rather frequently, indeed. Why aren't you healing, Penelo? Why have you decided that healing is against your... Oh, she died for it. I didn't remove Penelo's healing, did I? That'd be silly. No, she just felt like not healing, I guess. Oh, well, now she's dead. Ash. We probably should really just use quickenings on this, if I'm going to be honest, instead of constantly doing this, because it is critical, which means it is going to continuously do that. You know what? Let's get Balthier in here. Help us out, Balthier. Choco Comet, that's not good. Yeah, there goes Ash. Let's try and get Ash back up, see what we can do, hopefully before Penelo dies. This would be a good time to have Kiraja. Yeah, there goes her again. This is rather unfortunate situation. We could end this by just using quickenings. In fact, I think we're going to end this by using quickenings because it has no health and it's simply murdering our party over and over again. So let's just end this. In fact, we only need to do 2 quickenings, probably. So we're just going to do this and then I guess we're just going to assume it's dead because it has so little health. I could continue the chain, but I don't think we're going to. I don't want to spend too much time in quickenings when it has what appears to be like 20 health on its bar. It's sub 1% at this point. There's nothing left on its bar. So this should kill it. There we go. I got a trophy. Sharpshooter. There you go. That could have gone better. I'm not going to use any Phoenix Downs, actually. We're just going to leave. So our companion died, so we don't get to see his dialogue for when the hunt dies because he's dead. Kind of, nullifies that sort of dealy there. We're just going to run past these enemies. They're not a threat to us at all, but I want to get back to the save crystal and revive everyone. 0 damage. Too strong. All right. Go ahead and touch the save crystal. Recoup our losses. That could have gone much better, but it didn't. if I had gambits set up for every elemental weakness, so I don't know if I've explained this. Normally, you would use Libra to determine what element something is weak to, fire, water, whatever. But gambits do not need Libra. Gambits are capable of telling what element something is weak to, even if that enemy is immune to Libra, and thus the player themselves cannot see what element they're weak to. So if I had my my 2 Black Mage capable, well, technically I have 3 Black Mage capable people, if I had them set up with every elemental weakness possible in their gambits with an associated spell, they would cast the spell that the Chocobo is weak to, and then every time Trickster used Shift to change its element, the gambits would automatically adjust to its new elemental weakness, despite the player not being able to tell what its weakness is. So, if I had that set up, I could abuse the fact that gambits don't need Libra to tell what the hell's going on. But I didn't, so, you know. Anyway, what am I doing? Not status party. Let's put these 3 guys back in the group. Anyway, talk to Gertie here. Bagged the Trickster. So we got Demos Clay, 4,800 gil, and that's that. We're gonna stuff 1 more hunt in this video. I think. I don't remember carrot stock. Yeah, we'll put 1 more in this video. So we're gonna meet with Lady Nuray, which is in that house in Bujerba. And I will see you guys when I actually get there. Here we are at the Associated Residence. It's got some Moogles in it, but it also has Nuray, who appears to be crying. Find Rylon, and Kate for me, please. Okay. My children have gone into the mines at Lusu and do not return. An antlion has been seen deep in the mines and is rampaging. To add to this, the paling protecting the miners there has collapsed. Please, Badra, find my children. I have a name. You can start by calling me by my name, but you know. So this hunt gives us access to the second half of the Lusu mines that prior to now were obviously locked. So let's go ahead and head down to the mines with our newfound key and access. Can we get there from here? We can. I always forget that this pathway exists right here because I'm so used to just going around. You don't frequently go to the Lusu mines, so. Unless you're doing all of the hunts in the game and all of that jazz, you technically only do it once. But if you do the hunts in the game, I think you go there 3 times. It's also home to one particular hunt, which gives us access to the Genji equipment, which I will be attempting to get to the best of my capability. It really depends on how much RNG hates me. But anyway, we now have the Site 3 key, which in order to get there, I frankly actually don't remember. I think we have to go all the way up. And then all the way back down. Because I believe we have to go all the way north and then all the way back down, and then that will allow us to open a shortcut on the southern half of the map to get through the area. So let's go ahead and start making our way that way. It's going to be a bit of a run. None of these enemies are hard enough, but I will kill them because LP. And a small amount of XP. Also, hello. Casually turns and jaunts off in that way direction. All of this crap just appeared, or was that me losing my mind? I feel like that crap just appeared out of nowhere. Anyway, so this is the gate that I believe gets opened up as a shortcut. So there must be a switch or lever somewhere to operate it. I believe it's just over that way. But obviously we don't have that shortcut, so we have to make the long journey all the way around. Once you do have that shortcut, though, it's very handy. Here. Just kill some skeletons along the way. Make up mins for that nonsense we had to go through for that one hunt in the Nebrius Deadlands. Because that hunt was awful. That took a stupendous amount of time to clear those skeletons out of that area. And I'm pretty sure... We can't go this way, right? This way's closed too? Yeah. Gate's on the other side. I'm pretty sure we burned through like 30 Phoenix Downs and maybe 20 Ethers or something ridiculous like that. That particular area was not great. We got a decent amount of XP out of it, but not great for the time taken to actually do it. So we'll go ahead and use the Site 3 key. Now the enemies on this side are obviously much stronger. As you can see, level 41. Not nearly as bad as the Nebrius Deadlands, trust me on that much, but we will probably want a healer in the party at some point here. In fact, we probably want a healer in the party right away, so let's, we'll keep Vaughn in because he's stealing things, and frankly, I want to be able to steal things, so we'll go ahead and take this party with us. Penelo's canceled haste. Woo! There's a bunch of traps here. It's a relatively dark area, and we're also going to wander in a thisward direction just as an exploratory means. By the way, I don't think I've ever mentioned, but guns cannot combo, but they also cannot be blocked or parried. They have perfect accuracy, and they are unaffected by weather. By the way, that's a thing. Bows and crossbows are affected by weather, so that is a thing you do have to be wary of when using those weapons. On the downside, guns are really slow, and they can't combo, which is a huge downside for late game, because combos constitute a lot of your damage in the late game. We're just going over here for giggles, by the way. This is not the direction we're intended to go. I just want to see what's over here. This looks like it's not a mimic. It's just the ground. What is Tumulus? We got a Koga blade for our troubles. Now the Koga blade, don't know if I've explained this in a video. We'll go ahead and look at it. The Koga blade here is one of only 2 elemental ninja swords in the game. Every other ninja sword in the game, despite not showing an element, is the Tumulus. Despite not showing an element, if I can find one, there's one, are all dark. So they all do dark elemental damage, which means they are not very good against the undead. But the Koga blade and its accompanying ninja sword 2 blade, whose name I've forgotten, are water and earth element. And they are very powerful water and earth element weapons as well. Excuse me. Got an antidote. So they're very good against enemies that have a weakness against those elements, because they're probably your heaviest hitters, unless you have a samurai with the associated weapons. That's a mimic. That's actually a bug, I'm sorry. Like, it was just called a bug and nothing else. Anyway, let's actually go the correct path to make our way to our hunt destination, which is quite the journey. I say that, but we're going to go over here and explore the loot in this side too. We're just going to hang out way over here and shoot bullets at stuff, I guess. So that one's clearly a mimic, and that one's clearly a mimic. This one is not. We got a multi-scale. That one's a mimic. This one's not. We got a warp boat. Is that all that's over here? Up here, so. What does a multi-scale do? On-hit bravery. That's actually really good. Free bravery. Bravery is one of those status buffs that our party will have at all times once we start setting up buffs like that. Well, not the entire party, but our main physical hitter will have that buff at all times. This is a Doulahan. Those of you from FF14 will have seen this exact enemy. In fact, they're called the same thing. They don't always look the same, but it is a Dullahan, and it's the same sort of gist. Alright, so let's slow the game down. There we go. We're going to head this way first. The reason I'm heading this way first is because this offers a shortcut. Not a great shortcut, but a shortcut nonetheless. Vaughn should really just hit that enemy so he stops wasting time. He's still wasting time. There we go. That is the one downside with Vaughn being set up to steal like this. He spends all of his time trying to do it, but you know. There we go. Shortcut number 1 unlocked. A shortcut that I probably won't be using very much, but there you go. It's nice to have it regardless. You can steal from that one, and then we'll just have him hit it so he stops stealing from it. There we go. I do wish that Gambits had a little bit finer control, because they only go in 10% increments. I would prefer if they went in 5% increments so I could set up a 95% steal instead of a 90% steal. But, you know, it's not the worst thing. It's just a minor inconvenience. Especially if he hits low on his damage roll, he'll try and steal from these enemies again, which is unfortunate, but it's not a big deal. I just thought I'd mention it as a slight bother that I wish had been changed, but that's okay. Pinello actually just got mauled to death. That's a little ridiculous. Like, I know our damage output is low, and those are vampires that horrifically mauled her, but they're only 43. Of course, having said that, I was getting destroyed by those like 44, 45 skeletons, so I suppose we should still continue to be careful about how many things we pull at one time, especially if they have haste. As they very likely did. Again, be careful about what we pull. Whatever that was just did a load of damage to Vaughn. That's okay. Whoop. We got a dark crystal, which is worth basically nothing, but hey. Go ahead and hit this, and we have our main shortcut, which goes straight back outside, more or less. So we don't have to... At this point, there is never any reason, unless a hunt specifies it, to go up to the north. Because we have the shortcut down here now. Anyway. There's also this thing. Its route will need to be cleared in order to use it. What does this mean? Most curious. Most curious indeed. We have all but one of the gates opened. This is the only gate that isn't open. I think there's a gate there. We'll have to investigate that gate on the way back out. Here's a teleport crystal, which will be quite handy later in the game. And here is Kate. He went in deeper and has not returned. It is an Antlion. If that was not in there, I would go truly. Truly, I would. You must believe. Right, so what nonsense awaits on this bridge? Nothing. Fair enough. There is a hunt. I'm pretty sure it's classed as a hunt. That takes place on that bridge, so that is probably why there are no enemies there. There's another minecart. What does this minecart do? Nothing? Wait. It has a treasure chest behind it. An indigo pendant. Which is an accessory that does what? Improves chance to strike with magics. Could be good for lure, because that's basically impossible to land on anything most of the time. As well as bubble. Bubble is pretty hard to land, if I'm not mistaken. Got an aquarium, but this is blocked off. Obviously opens from there. There is clearly a secret area in these mines. I mean, I already knew that, but, you know, I'll just point it out. Now, we never actually checked where here it says this hunt is, so let's quickly do that. It says it's at the end of this area. Who could have possibly guessed this? Stole a Taurus gem. It's actually pretty good. They're still fighting that bat, but it'll be okay. They got themselves covered. They're fine. What is it? Treasure here. Contains Gil. By the gods. Pinello, please come here. Thank you. Now, this is not our target, but this is a killer mantis nearby our target. Speed of the game again. Not a whole lot exciting happening here. Again, this is something I could have cut out. There's the Ego Blade. I was wondering what they did with that. So there's the other ninja sword that is elemental. So you can actually get both of them. They are, apart from the element, identical weapons. Anyway, this is something I could cut out. And then just show you me getting to the hunt. Like I'm there. Fantastic, etc., etc. But I'm exploring this area. I'm also doing a full playthrough, so I don't want to cut anything out. We don't have the key for that extra area. I don't want to cut any exploratory footage out when I'm first going through zones, such as this. It's a killer mantis. We stole an X potion. It's actually pretty good. X potions are great. 120 gil, belay. So he appears to have some friends in here. Quite a number of friends, in fact. So we're going to... What are these weak to? If anything. They're weak to wind. We do not have a good wind spell, do we? Wait, this is the wrong one. That's why I was confused. Oh, we do have Eroga. Does Bosch get that? I don't think Bosch gets that. No, he only gets the base second level spells. Does Fran get that? Fran. Adara, Arrow, Aqua. No, she only gets first and second level. At least for now. She gets third level traditional magic. She doesn't seem to get second level or third level of the other stuff, though. So the only one that has it is Ash. So we're gonna quickly set up Ash for Wind Week real quick. So that hopefully she can clear out some of these enemies. And then what else do we want? Bosch or Vaughn? Vaughn will be too busy trying to steal. Let's bring Bosch in. Oh, we've aggroed everything, so we're in, I guess. So Ash will be tanking. Theoretically, hopefully she can keep up with this. In fact, we should give her, is it Jade? Jade Collar, so she takes a little bit less damage here. Oh, I forgot they do this. I forgot about that. So the Antlion is capable of feeding upon the praying mantises when their health is low, which I'm pretty sure will improve its level, just like pretty much anything else, basically. 3600 damage, pretty good. So if you let it eat too many of those, this fight is probably going to be very difficult. However, I think it only managed to eat one, so this will be an easy encounter. Sit here and cast Eroga at it. If you don't have Eroga, also, I should point out that Flatten is a small conal AoE in front of the boss, so I should probably spin it. In front of the enemy, anyway. When it gets to critical health and casts Enrage, it gets 0 CT, otherwise known as Haste, as far as I'm concerned. Which means all of its stuff is instantaneously cast. The camera kept spinning, by the way. So it's very dangerous once it hits critical health. Are you well? You are not harmed? Thank you so much, Bajra. I will return to preserve together. Now the key, as you might suspect, to get deeper into the mines that they dropped below, is the Site 11 key. That will allow us to get deeper into the mines for later hunt that will be required, as well as some additional loot and stuff like that. Before we leave, I'm going to run back over here and fight some praying mantis, apparently, because this dude's just hanging out over here. Having a grand old time. We're gonna walk back in here and see what loot is in the store, if there is any. 100 gil, woo! Vanello is fighting something. Oh. We also got Expose, though, which is pretty good. Expose is a technique that I believe... Does it show up here? Yeah. Lowers one foe's defense. There's another one that adds an extra elemental weakness to enemies, which can be good, but usually don't use it too much. I guess in a mage heavy party it would be a very good thing to have. But anyway, let's go ahead and head back to the hunt giver person. Also change our party back out so we can get XP for those two. There's too many people. There we go. XP for these two so they can catch up a little bit, because they are very slightly behind. Although everyone is ahead of what the story needs, so it doesn't matter too much. Again, this bridge has nothing on it. Cool beans. Now I will need to check up something just to make sure about where that key dropped, because I am going to put that part in this video as well. We're gonna go pick up the key, all that jazz. Just gonna kind of hang out, shoot bullets, I guess. Pretty good at that. Alright, so after we kill this vampire, we should be back in safe territory. Here we are, back with the boring old level 7 enemies. Who wants to fight those? Among other enemies around here. Well, basically, I'm just holding forward on the stick and letting gambits kill everything for me. Oh yeah, we need to check this gate as well. Speed it up again. Fucking... whatever, it's fine. Make our way over here. I thought we had tried this before. And it didn't work. Well, it does now, so whatever. So next time I'm down here, I'll move that cart over because the cart's still back there, so it doesn't really do me any good. Got an Osafune. It doesn't really do me any good that we've unlocked that because the cart's still in the wrong place, but we should now be able to traverse the mines quickly utilizing that cart without having to run through it like this. We do still have to run through some of it, including pretty much all of the deeper part of the mines. In fact, I think all of the deeper part of the mines is only walkable. My memory's a little flaky on those mines because I, again, usually don't go there at all, so it's a thing. Anyway, let's go ahead and head back in here to our respected home. Hello! 4,300 gil bubble belt, which is pretty good, and a sickle blade. Also pretty good. It was to be an adventure, indeed. Now let me quickly check on where this key actually dropped, and I will meet you guys where it is. So here we are. Just took the crystal to the Fawn Coast, and the item in question should be northwest of the save point, somewhere around here. This dude? No, it's not this guy. Yeah, it is this guy. So the man who fell here, we can talk to him. I fell from a sky city, you see, and have forgotten everything from before the fall. He still says Bajra, though. And we can talk to his friend here as well. I mean, he fell from a sky city that we can't even see if we look up in the sky from here. So he's doing pretty well for himself. But he also took with him a small key. This is the Site 11 key. So that key will allow us further access into deeper part of the mines, but the deeper part of the mines, I believe, is something you probably don't want to do until 50 plus at least. So we'll be doing that for a while anyway, but we will need that key for a later hunt. Make sure you pick it up so you don't forget later, or well, that's what I do anyway. You guys might not have as bad memory as me, but anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.